Hello, my dears, and welcome to Brother Earth Healing. Today we are going to be reading for the end of July, doing a review, a little bit of, feeling into what's coming for the end of the month as we exit. And this is going to be for Earth signs, as well as just tapping in generally with Earth energy that is in all of us and around all of us. So very warm welcome to you. It's nice to be together. So just to share a little bit, I'm an intuitive healer, as well as been trained formally as a medium and have had training in a Zen tradition and have been ordained as a Buddhist monk as well. So a little bit about my foundation. I do read intuitively. And these are, for the most part, going to be, channeling messages and more or less using the cards to confirm and kind of guide that process. And I will probably also be guided to share little bits here and there from my own background. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, also at Brother Earth Healing. And if you're feeling really resonant and would like to support me, feel free to like the video and share and subscribe to this little channel here. We just got started last month. I'm also available for private sessions, doing healing work and other intuitive work, as well as really doing a lot to help people connect with their guides right now. I've been doing that really consistently with this past few folks I've been working with. So if you're interested or curious, feel free to tune in. And as always, just take whatever messages and whatever's coming through that resonates with you. And if you're not feeling as resonant, you can let that stuff kind of go a little bit. And also check in with some of my other videos for the end of the month. They'll all be up by this Friday, by the 31st. And let's just get started with take a couple breaths together to kind of enter the space. I'm going to offer a little bit of energy, and then we're going to get into the reading. So feel free to just find a comfortable space, comfortable place, and just come back to the breath. I feel like a lot of you are really ready to receive, really open. That's sweet. Yeah. So just allow the breath to guide you to a quiet place internally, asking and allowing our mind to settle, allowing the thoughts to settle, allowing the emotions and the feelings to settle, just noticing as they pass by. Good. I feel like everyone's kind of there. And let's really just also set this intention to be open to receive what we need to receive for our healing and growth. And I'd like to offer big love and gratitude to our ancestors with blood ancestors, as well as our spiritual ancestors and heritage. I'd like to ask for support in offering clear messages of love and healing and support during this time for our earth signs, tapping into earth energy for the end of the month of July 2020. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So with that, we'll get started. Thank you guys for sticking around. As I do notice that I'm aware that I'm quite a bit different pace, quite a bit of a slower pace than a lot of other readers here on YouTube, many of which are fabulous and amazing, and who I'm very inspired by, actually. With that, I'm also super open to collaborations and things like that, so feel free to reach out or just say hi. I'm feeling a lot of really beautiful energy with our earth signs and around earth energies. interestingly enough, it doesn't feel as grounded. Like you might not be feeling as grounded as you normally are. I'm feeling a lot of like astral activity, or like a lot of really beautiful, like very high, playful energy. Really a playing around, maybe like that might be coming out in with some, for some people, in a way that's like really being drawn to connecting to like maybe like fantasy novels or films, or like high fantasy particularly, you know, elves and fairies, or yeah, also just like the magical, you know, aspects of nature, right? Like things that are fantastical and magical, that seem unreal, that are part of nature and that are part of life. And so I'm feeling for some that there's this balancing now happening with, which is a really big theme for the end of this month and for this month in general, with all the signs as I've been reading, coming into balance, okay? Yeah. I'm feeling like we're definitely coming into a creative, yeah, like a creator role. And I'm feeling like this is less of a physical role that we're playing out, physically. I feel like this is more of a in our consciousness, or in our energy. Yeah, it's just more of an energetic, playful, creative place, like really coming into that right now, which is great. Just really a lot of energy, very high energy, and a lot of it, a lot of energy is what I'm feeling. And I feel like this is needed because while our earth energy really helps us to be grounded and stay grounded, so that we can have clarity, and I feel that what's going on now is this yeah, I feel like what has happened is there's been some awareness of maybe a lack of action, where maybe it's needed. Maybe seeing that in yourself, affecting you personally, and then also seeing how lack of action, like inactivity, is affecting us out in the world, is affecting the world. I'm feeling like a lot of very like posh energy, like very like tea party, like proper, like wanting to be modest and careful, right? And like calculated. Not necessarily like calculated, you know, still like I'm feeling pretty free, but pretty like, yeah, like wanting to really do right and be a good example is what I'm feeling. Okay, I feel like you want to be a good example for those around you. I'm catching onto like younger siblings, or people in your life that you might see as younger siblings, or in some kind of light like that, maybe through work even. Yeah, truly wanting to be a good example, and to allow that purity and goodness to shine through you, right? And I feel like that's in a big way related to this connection to this, you know, fantasy stuff. And wanting to live more naturally, and wanting to live more, yeah, just in tune, in harmony, purely. Yeah, it's a really beautiful and noble direction to want to take your life in, right? For some, I feel like this is more, I don't want to say serious, but I feel like for some, they're maybe a little bit more ready or prepared to take bigger steps, to achieve this. And for others, it's like really being more like playful in the mind and seeing like what is possible and what is, what do I really want? What do I really want? That's what I'm getting strongly. What do I really want? And beginning to put the pieces together in a way that makes sense for you, right? I feel like for some, there's been a direction that you've been taking that has maybe like you're seeing along the way as you go in that direction, take steps in that direction, that the fruits that are bearing are not what you expected and maybe not what you exactly would like or want. And so there's this coming back, like circling back to saying, oh, okay, like where in this direction, what's particular steps or what particular roads did I take that have led me to a place where, I thought I was going to be getting what I wanted, or I thought this was going to bring me fulfillment, and it's not. What do I need to reconsider, right? So there's this circling back around, which is great, like I don't feel like there's a whole lot of judgment in there, which is really nice. I feel like there's a lot of spaciousness. And yeah, I applaud you for that. Amazing. Very good. I feel like, and this has been coming up with all the readings, is like really this collective experience, right? Which is what I've been reading since I started this channel, is that what I feel is happening for us all, is that we're having a lot of collectively recognized experience, like collective experiences where we, and I think I'm feeling that the main motive of this and purpose is so that we can understand what each other is going through a little bit more clearly and vividly, because it's what also we're experiencing to some degree in some way, right? Even if the actual experiences might be different. Yeah. And so let me pull some more cards so we can get some more information from this. I'm feeling like going to, I have just kind of reading for this here, Six of Wands, and I want to pull a little bit more. That's perfect. More pieces of clarity. Yeah, so a lot around wanting to, I feel like this person is whether they know it or not, is very much able to, I don't want to say manipulate, but yeah, influence strongly, and has a lot of control over the direction of their life and of their energy, particularly the direction of their energy and the quality, and has some kind of some aspect of mastery over that. Actually, I feel like I'm reading for somebody who actually might be a healer or do intuitive work. Okay. I feel like okay, I feel clearly that there is some aspect of fear or from a very painful experience that has guided you on this path, right? Or influenced you to yeah, kind of go deeper, which has been a blessing, I feel. And I feel like there's some aspect of fear or that has kept you. There's something about that painful experience, something that's been held on to, I feel, that has kept you, yeah, that has made you feel diverted from the path, right? Like I feel that there was clarity at the beginning, right? Or at the onset, and really like a very positive, yeah, like this is it, right? And I feel like that was very true. I feel like that direction and that clarity was very true. And somewhere along the way, fear or patterns or, bad habits, things like that, kind of, detoured, made you take a little bit of a detour. And so there's this recognition now, but I feel certainly that it's through this recognition, there's quite a bit of pain. I feel like what's happening is that there's a sense of doubting yourself now. There's a sense of, oh man, like I really tried, I really put a lot out there, you know, and for what, right? If this isn't even what I want, right? And yeah, I mean, I feel like it's as a little bit, I feel like there's a sense of being caught in the experience and really, yeah, taking it on very personally, as opposed to recognizing that, you know, we all make mistakes and nobody's perfect. And this is a part of the process of really truly finding, yeah, what is the way we want to live, right? Like trial and error in a way. And yeah, we have to try things, right, to discover what it is that we really want, right? And I feel like there's a bit of advice from your, you know, spirit team or guides or whatever, that's about recognize and remember that you are very good at you know, you're very good at when, you know, when you change your direction or when you decide on a direction, you know, you really go for it, and you have a lot of kind of manifesting power behind you, and you know how to do that, right? And if you know, we can kind of skip, or, you know, I won't actually say that. What I'll say is that if we can do our best to recognize that what we're experiencing, even though it might be a little bit painful and we have a lot of maybe doubts and a lot maybe coming up from our past, that we need to, you know, continue to heal, to recognize those things for what they are and not put judgment on ourselves for, you know, not being exactly where we want to be when we think we should be there, right? I think that's a really good lesson, a really, really good lesson. And it helps us to become much more gentle with ourselves, not in a way that's like complacent or allowing of like the bad habits to creep back up, but in a way that's like really understanding of what, you know, of where we are, right? And accepting, so that we can begin to like, yeah, it's just having more and more clarity, right? And less of an attachment with the events, like not getting so caught up in the events of what's happening, so that we can be clear and say like, and see them, as opposed to like be caught in them, right? Like really seeing them from an outside or an objective place. Okay. I do feel a lot of self-judgment. Yeah, I feel a lot of self-judgment. Okay, let's read I have another row. So just to show you, you know, if you are a male or really do feel like this very strong, very strong, royal, knightly, kingly energy, I feel like it's, yeah, I'm feeling like there's some great accomplishment either in this life or another. Very noble, yeah, very noble in the pursuit to help others is what I actually feel, and to become free and liberated yourself also, which is great. And if you feel like you need, you know, even, I mean, like my teacher and friend and mentor who has taught me and guided me through my, you know, through doing healing work and channeling, mediumship, you know, I remember when I first started meeting with her and studying with her, she would say, like, you know, if, you know, we all need also to be worked on. When you're right, we need support, you know, as healers also, and to not forget that, you know, and not to become too arrogant, right? And think like, oh, I can just heal myself all the time, and just like, you know, I'm good now, right? I'm good now. It's like, you know, no, we're all here to learn a lot of really good, important lessons, and yeah, and we all need support and guidance, you know, every step of the way. And I think there's also what wants to come through is like to not be so judgmental about how you are receiving your lessons. I think a lot of people look towards big teachers, for guidance and for like, yeah, like big famous teachers, right? For guidance and and feel a sense of like, not wanting to learn from the simple, small experiences in our life, and the, maybe being, maybe pushing away other people who, yeah, might not be so famous or popular, right? And it's like, teaching comes in so many ways, like and our lessons, our divine, heaven sent lessons and guidance comes in so many ways. And by closing ourselves off, even when something resonates with us, is like saying like, no, I'm putting up a wall, I'm blocking that out, and that's also an energetic pattern, right? So really, like, being open is what I'm kind of guided to share, or like what's coming through is like, yeah, just being open, especially when something resonates. Like, there's a lot of people that, yeah, really want to be teachers, but also haven't done the healing. So yeah, we have to be aware of that too. And yeah, but I feel that the more in tune and clear that we can be, the more able we are to receive what we need to receive, yeah, in an open way, clear way. Okay, I feel for some that this, if it's the same situation here, I feel like there's, there was a red flag coming up that had you kind of retrace your steps or kind of circle back around, because maybe, yeah, you weren't feeling as clear, right? You were feeling kind of disconnected from your, from source, feeling a little bit disconnected from your intuition, right? And from yourself, maybe even. And just a lot of, yeah, just a really severe lack of balance, I feel like, also coming from some kind of lifestyle thing, choices, or some kind of, yeah, something in the physical realm that was out of whack, out of balance. May even have been a situation involving others that kind of put things out of whack, or, something like that. Or if you weren't resonating completely with what was just shared, then we'll take this on as a new situation completely. Okay, this is another thing that I've been reading into with everyone as one of these, again, like collective experiences, is feeling that there's something wrong with the way things are going on. Like, oh, this isn't divine anymore, what we're experiencing, like, or like what is happening. Like, ooh, I don't know if maybe everything I thought, was kind of wrong. Maybe I need to rethink my belief system, crisis of faith even, which, as I mentioned in one of the other videos, is something I kind of went through recently. Not exactly a crisis of faith, but like really opening myself up to, yeah, to just really be open to to other possibilities beyond my own preconceived notion of spirituality and universal truths and things like that. And I think this is a really beautiful thing, and I feel like for those who maybe are not as much on a spiritual path, or or maybe not intentionally on some kind of, yeah, spiritual path, which is even, I feel like the need to even share that, like, that's, even kind of a bit of nonsense. Like, it's, we're all, like Ram Dass says so beautifully, we are all just walking each other home, you know, whether we realize what's going on or not. It's, you know, it's all the path, right? It's all the path, and we're all on it together, inseparably. Yeah, so I feel like for many that is being opened, right? There's this opening. And it's so funny how even maybe something like a crisis of faith can open us up to be even more in tune, right? Even more clear. So what I'm sharing right now has just been told to me. This is, yeah, very much the collective experience. This is what's going on, particularly for people that are resonating, that are earth signs, or that are, you know, have a lot of earth in their chart, resonating with earth energy a lot. And so there's a bit of this veil being lifted, and it's a quite, for many, it's a quite scary and very difficult thing, you know, especially people who are holding very tightly onto their faith, that in a way where what I'm getting is that for folks particularly that are really holding on tightly to outdated religious or doctrines, you know, or spiritual doctrines, particularly ones that are that exclude others, like whether like excluding like people of color, or, you know, I don't think any religions really do that, but excluding, like, for instance, like the like LGBTQ plus community, or things like that. Like, I feel like there's some relief and some, yeah, opening of perspective on that, right? Deepening and, you know, of perspective, which is really beautiful to see, but I feel like it's coming in a very harsh way. And I feel like there's an element of there are things that we've learned, okay? There are things that we've learned even from traditions in which maybe the some of the doctrines are very outdated and really not aligned with, you know, true like love and healing and source, right? That there's been a lot learned that's been very important, and that is helping to inform, right? It's like the feeling is like, if, you know, like a movie, right? Like the bad guys become, like, you know, they're fighting the bad guys supposedly this whole time, right? They're fighting the bad guys, right? And then, but the bad guys have something, you know, really powerful, right? And the bad guys are winning, they're winning, and then somebody finally gets through to the bad guys, right? And then that changes their mind, or that helps them see in a new way. And then, you know, like God comes in, right? Or that's the thing, like, you know, spirit comes in and shows them the light, you know, and the truth, right? And then particularly surrounding, you know, this idea of, like, you know, we're all, not the idea, but the truth of, like, you know, and I've said this in other videos, of our true relationship, you know, as human beings, and you know, being the human family, like the human race, you know, like being, you know, brother and sister, and divine brother and sister, right? And this revelation comes, and then, you know, this, you know, former bad guys, right, or use this like super mega weapon, or like, you know, super love bomb or whatever, you know, we'll say that, you know, for good now, right? So this is, yeah, this might not be exactly the traditional, you know, meaning of this card. Like I said, I do read pretty differently than other, because I'm not just reading the cards, it's channeling. And this was what was before that I was reading World Reversed, which is speaking to this crisis of faith, or feeling like things are not the way we thought they were, or yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. The bad guy gets turned, right? something as I was thinking, this was something that I was thinking last week as I, was reflecting on like, these people who are just like, these people who have like, you know, the 1%, right? The 1%, and who have a lot of power, supposed power and control over industry and things like that. What if one of them had this crazy spiritual awakening? Even one of them, right? One person of that 1%, and just went on this love rampage, just went on this like crazy, beautiful rampage of like, just totally changing things up. Like, we want completely clean energy. Like, I'm just gonna do it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna do it. That's the feeling I'm getting. Yeah. I feel like it feels really giddy. Like, oh my God, like, is this gonna happen? Like, is this gonna, like, oh my God, like, is that happening? Wow. It would be the first time I predicted something totally crazy like this. I don't have it on video, but actually one of the last channeling sessions that I did with my group here in Monterey, I actually did channel the virus. I channeled that there was going to be global illness, is what my teacher said through me, and that was the first experience I've ever had of channeling into the future, or like a message like about like what's coming like that. So it was really like pretty shocking for me. But anyway, yeah, wow. And in another way, I feel guided to share too, like through that line of thought that I was having about, what if one of those people like really awakened, two things. Like, one, like that kind of really brings a whole new idea to like, who should we be trying to influence? Who should we be trying to guide into, yeah, certainly everybody, right? But maybe some effort should be made collectively as a healing community, as a spiritual community, to guide, those that have that kind of, I would say more than power, even responsibility, right? Or that ability to really make big changes like that. And the other side of that coin is also the real need for us to learn to, or for us to empower each other and others, as collectively we have so much power, and our and just don't, we're not organized. We're so divided in so many ways, to be organized. And if we just had one cause, I was just talking to a friend about this, like if we just all rallied around one cause, together, to show each other that we really can use, our communities in a very powerful and directed, way, even, something like that's been on my mind a lot is like, like sex trafficking, and also like forced labor and things like that, like slavery, right? Modern day slavery. And if we just rallied around something like that, to show each other and ourselves, like, wow, like what we can do, and just pick one cause at a time, right? Maybe that could be the first thing, and then we go on to, do work and support with like, education, in communities that are really underserved around the world, and again, like, yeah, women's rights, Black Lives Matter, like those things are already kind of like, we're already seeing that we have this big, collective mind, and we should be using it, right? We need to be using our collective, mind, our collective energy towards causes that are going to alleviate suffering and to help with, for me, like, I think the main thing right now is like environmental stuff, it's been like really heavy on my mind, but this is your reading, so I won't hijack it too much. So I'm gonna, my videos have been really long, and I'm not sure if you guys like that or not. My retention is pretty good. I've been looking at the analytics, but
yeah, like if you guys can actually like leave me a comment and let me know how you like it, if it feels a little bit too long, really long, or like just right for you, or even a little short, like whatever. I would really, really appreciate the feedback actually. Um, as well as would just love to say hi to you all, whoever's tuning in. Um, anyway, I'm gonna get into, I think that was really beautiful, and I'm gonna keep it at that for our end of month, like just to summarize what's going on. And throw some messages out there. I'm still so giddy from that. Oh my god, like, like, oh my gosh, just so many things that would fix, you know, or that so many things, like, oh my god, imagine like getting people that are like, you know, really suffering with depression and like, you know, don't know what their direction is in life, this and that, like just putting that all aside, like, you know, forgetting about not forgetting, but for a moment putting aside our own personal problems and whatever to contribute and face a big collective issue. You know, I think that is a big reason why so many people experience like a lot of anxiety and depression and you know, don't know what to do with their life, because we see this world quite broken in many ways, right? And I think that is what many of us are craving. We're craving for healing for not only ourselves but for others and the world, and for the environment, for the physical earth, right? And oh my gosh, like this card has come out so much lately. I'm gonna read that for us in a second, but you know, but geez, yeah, here, look, you know, grow beyond your current situation, you know, like let's begin to look at the collective. Let's begin to see ourselves as the powerful collective that we are, and see really what we're capable of, you know. That is like so beautiful, you know. Oh my gosh, it's just, I cannot think of, I think I'm getting so giddy because I cannot think of a more healing thing or a more noble thing to do with my life. You know, maybe you can, but you know, wow, like that's really powerful. And if you guys are resonating with what's going on right now, I do have a number of other side projects and groups, many of which are free, that are meditation groups, support groups. I've been doing and teaching like little things with a friend, offering like sending energy in a, you know, virtual group setting with a friend, and then I'm gonna teach Qi Gong. I'm actually doing that this Saturday. If you're interested, please reach out. I'm doing that the 1st of August. Let's go through this really quick. Let's start with this. We got to start with this. This has been coming out so often. Definitely, I think came out in the last reading, and maybe even the one before that. It's maybe come out in all of them this week. She-wolf, unleash the wild within. I feel like what this is really speaking to is like release the you know, the true you within, you know, really release that, allow it, recognize yourself, right, as that. And I think the aspect of wild is really, really resonating with me, because for me, what I'm reading is that what's coming through is that it's unapologetic, right, about social norms, unapologetic, you know, non-conforming to societal pressures to be a certain way, to exist in a certain way, right, on the earth, right? Coming back to the wild, the natural, wild essence of even our humanity, our humanness, our animal nature, right? Which is freedom, you know, these constructs of, you know, big city society, you know, even some very unhealthy aspects of human culture, right? By unleashing and connecting and truly being with our true, I'm getting human, our true human, ancestral, natural way of being on this planet physically, just by embodying that and feeling into that, those other things fall aside naturally. Those other things that are distractions, whether that's, you know, phone addictions, technology, whatever stuff, the distractions that are keeping us, right, that are holding us back from our true selves, in what I'm saying, the human, animal, natural way of existing on this planet, those things fall away, right? Don't worry about those things. Just go towards you, right? Go in, go, yeah, it's like a cycle, right? In and out, right? So, wow, that's really beautiful. I cannot wait to post this video. Oh my God, this might be like the highlight video. There's always one video that really stands out. I've noticed in the weeks from each of the major sign groups. Last month, the end of the month for June, the fire one, please check that out. It's so, so good. I'm going to post an excerpt of that soon. Okay, here's our next one. I feel like this is very much the male counterpart aspect to the she-wolf that we just read into. Okay. Or not the male, the masculine, right? So the feminine and masculine, which are both energies that we all contain regardless of our whatever we identify with or are born with, whatever. These are qualities, masculine and feminine, that require balance in everyone, okay? I'm feeling very similar message, really very, very similar thing, coming back to our roots. And this is kind of funny because this actually fell out earlier. It actually fell out earlier when I was talking about this, you know, fantastical fantasy kind of thing that maybe some of us are in right now. So it's pretty cool. Animal guardian, trust your instincts. I feel like there's some guides and teachers around us that are helping to support us in trusting our instincts, trusting our intuition, what we feel, you know. And when you are attracted to something, you know, when your soul is attracted to something, not your mind, ego, you know, attracted to addiction and, you know, in that way, but when your soul is attracted, when you resonate, when there's this harmonious attraction and resonance, feel into that and go towards that. Like, just do it. Just go towards it. I'm feeling like there's some inaction, which is why I'm being called to say, just do it. Yeah. And wow, this was very energetic. Oh my God, this is where all this energy is coming from, because I feel like so many of us are really in the place to create, right? I was telling this to my friend, who I'm a good friend and my, you know, partner in some of these offerings that we're doing, like for instance this Saturday. And I was telling him, like, man, I'm just feeling so much, and this was last week, like, I just keep hearing, like, let's just get busy, time to get busy, like, let's do this, you know. And yeah, I could not be more excited for this energy that I'm feeling, and especially, you know, to know that other people are experiencing this as I'm reading into the collective energy is very inspiring to me. And I'm working, like I said, on a lot of different projects, and very, very much going towards a lot more community building, which I have a lot of experience doing. So if you're interested and resonate, please reach out to connect and collaborate. And, you know, we're gonna, you know, just been through the years getting the gang together to put together, yeah, some really big projects and supportive things. So anyway, yeah, I'd love to connect with you again. Thank you so much for the support and watching the video, especially if you made it this far. And yeah, if you liked it, you know, drop a like to show your support, and throw a comment down there to say hi, or feel free to ask any questions or whatever. I'll be more than happy to, like, you know, answer some questions. And if you yeah, are interested in working with me one-on-one, like I said, I'm offering distance healing right now. And yeah, I do, you know, all kinds of other intuitive work as well as tarot. Like I was saying, like connecting people with guides, and doing that kind of work. Or if you're interested in learning Qi Gong or meditation too, please reach out as well. And the Qi Gong offering will be free this coming Saturday, the 1st of August. And yeah, connect with me on Instagram. I post all of our free events up on there too. And thank you. Yeah, just thank you so much. Just having the opportunity to do this is really precious. It's very sweet. You know, I definitely savor doing this work. So yeah, thank you all for being there and for supporting. And just, yeah, to close, I guess just many blessings to you. And until next time, have a beautiful, beautiful end of the month.